Here it's me again. It's been like a week, probably a few days, and I was like, you know what? It's been a while. I got some ideas and stuff. So I'm gonna lay down some new type of history or lore for this because I'm not consistent with it. It's just the person I am. With newer and newer ones, it might get more consistent and stuff. But anyway, so first off, I'm gonna change this. Not a lot, just enough. So Izuku's droids and robots and stuff that he sends out to do all the deals and everything, they look more like Terminators, or actually, his guard droids look like Terminators, but his dealer droids look like the ones from Age of Ultron, the blue and white ones. Listen, I got school tomorrow and it's 11 p.m. Um, so this is gonna be the type of. I'm just gonna say this right now. This is also going to be kind of like an army what if because of how many droids I want him to make and what I want him to do. So Izuku makes a deal with the Yakuza clan and it's like, how about this? I sell you these things, you sell me those things, we make a deal, we share territory. So they start to do that. Everything starts going on, and where I left off is that off one is like, you know what? I don't really want to bother this kid because I want to see what he's gonna do. Well, what Deck is doing right now is he's kind of spreading into the League of Villains territory. They don't really have a big territory, but they got like little spots where they usually go to. And so all for one, and so Shigaraki's like, Mister, it seems as though that boy has been seeping into our territory. What should we do? Now, all for one's like, I mean, he is a kid, it should be easy, but at the same time, we don't know his true power. All we know is that he's got creation quirk. Because remember, his doctor was still the same doctor, so they know that he's got a creation quirk. They just don't know the full extent of it. And so Azuku's been thinking, you know what? I got all this land, and I don't really have that many things to kind of keep it safe. So what he starts to do is he makes his own type of little assassin or yeah, type of assassin robots where they patrol the night, make sure there's not that much crime, any outside dealings to kind of take down and stuff. And so the police are like, hey, these people are kind of helping us. They're stopping some drug deals, not all of them, but it's not like they know where every single one of them is. So the police think that these are just vigilantes helping them. See, in this universe, the police are alright with vigilantes. They're helping them. The heroes, on the other hand, aren't, because some of them are kind of greedy with the popularity. So any vigilante to get more popularity than them, they're probably going to go after them and try and turn them in. But sorry, just readjusting. But yeah, Suku is starting to make different things, and so he goes to a meeting with the Yakuza clan leader, and he's like, excuse me for that. And he's like, listen, buddy, I've been a partner with you for at least a few years now, because I'm going to change this up a bit, actually. Actually, never mind. He's like, I've been a partner with you for a few months now, because this is after the school thing, so, yeah. And, let's say Overhaul is already the leader right now. He's like, yeah, I know. And you've been helping us, and we've been helping you. So I don't really know why you're here. And he's like, listen, I wanted to know how your quirk canceling bullets were to try and make quirk canceling swords or tranquilizers to do a non-lethal way of hurting people so that we could take them in or stop them and stuff. And he's like, why? Are you taking down villains or something? Are you taking down heroes or something? And Izuku says, no. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take other drug dealers off the street, but I don't want to kill them because that just looked bad for our reputation. And overall, I was like, true, but why do you come to me now? And he's like, well, you see, the thing is, I don't know if you know this or anything. Maybe you're using somebody to make the quirks, like they got a quirk to make quirk things, whatever. But we found some human DNA in it. I'm not really sure what's going on. I mean, it's not fully our business and stuff. If you don't want us to know, you could just say, hey, it's not your business, and we could just, head out. But, we'd at least like to know what's in these things just to make sure that we're not, like, harming them, even if they're tranquilizers. Now, overall, it's getting like, oh, crap, these guys might actually find out that I'm using a kid to make these. And it's like, don't worry. You were right about one thing, though. I do have a guy that can make quirk canceling bullets from his quirk because he knows that if this kid finds out that he's using a kid to make these bullets, that he's going to fucking mess him up. I mean, even though Zuko hasn't fully built like a type of army or anything, he's still got enough guys that are powerful enough and stuff that they could take out the entire Yakuza clan 3 times. That's how powerful he is currently, even with not a ton of soldiers and stuff. And so he's overall's like, I gotta play this off and stuff. So he's just telling lies left and right. And Izuku's kind of falling for them because it's not like he has got a lie detector test on him right now. Yeah, I'm on my bed again. So the meeting's over and everything, and Izuku goes back to his base. I don't know if I did this in the last part, but I just want to do it because I want to. Jeez. So fucking late. Not as many cracks, but still. Anyway, we're gonna say that Izuku's dad was in the army, and his dad showed him all these cool military vehicles and weapons and stuff from his time in the military. Stuff that they shouldn't have actually showed people. And his dad was kind of like a high-ranking officer. Nobody really knew like that he was in the army. He still had the same cover-up story. Oh yeah, he just works abroad, but really he's like a top-notch general leader and stuff. But on one of his missions, he died. It was a sneak attack. They were on their way to a negotiation. They were attacked by a type of rebellion from the area that didn't want them coming in or striking a deal with them or anything. Now, Zuko was mad at this. He was really mad and sad. And I'm not really gonna do anything with this for a little bit because of some other stuff that's gonna happen. But a few years later after that, because this happened when he was like let's say 10, and then 3 years later, because currently Izuku's around 14 to 15. So when he was 13 years old, his mom got in a car accident and he couldn't help her. No, none of the doctors could somehow. And so she died. And so Izuku ran out of the hospital after he found out that she died, ran straight into the woods, and then that's it. Nobody ever heard from him again. Wait, actually, no, that sounds bad. Let's say at the end of the school year, his mom got in a car crash, all that stuff, and he ran into the woods. Now everybody didn't know where he was, and Aku was like, "That nerd finally learned his place in the woods with all those useless creatures." But inside, he's like, "Damn, Izuku, why did you do that?" Because even though he's got like that bully persona and stuff, he's still kind of nice. It's not like he. Okay, let me just So he's not completely mean to Izuku. Okay, he already knows that he lost his dad and that he just lost his mom. So he's acting mean, but really he's sad for the kid. Like he's lost both of his parents. And I mean, although that happens to a few kids, his parents loved him. Like loved him. They were one of the few people that actually cared for him because all the other people thought he didn't really have a quirk. And Izuku didn't really want to show them that he had a quirk. He did still make the armor. It looked more like just regular knight armor and stuff. Like if you were to search up knight armor, it's not gonna exactly look like that. Some of the joints and stuff are a little more covered up and everything like that. It looks a little bit more clean. I mean, okay, I'm not really sure how to explain this. I can't really show you a picture right now. I'm still learning how to do that. Haven't got any messages and stuff. Whatever. I just tell you that. Okay. So 11 minutes, like 12 minutes, and I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. Izuku's parents both died. He's now living in the woods. He's kind of like a drug dealer. He's got robots doing the deals and robot assassins stopping other deals. He works with the Yakuza clan, and the League of Villains don't want to mess with him. Neither do the Yakuza clans. The heroes don't really know who's running it, and neither does anybody. All they know is that it's somebody with a pretty powerful quirk. And Izuku's got a few cool things. He's got a satellite up in the air, up in orbit that is Edith. He uses that for very desperate situations that barely happen, so nobody really knows it's there. Um, he's got an Iron Man suit by now, and he doesn't really need to use that either because nobody really tries to kill him. And he has applied to UA, and he's slowly taking over area. And the government, the government of Japan doesn't really know it. All they know is that some gang is slowly taking over some land that isn't really important to them, so they don't really care. And so Izuku decides to fully make it his, so it's practically just two countries, maybe. Like you got, it's still Japan, but it's kind of like under the rule of Izuku. So everybody's kind of the same. It's still part of the. Okay, this is so hard. Izuku just has some territory. You know how like in games and stuff where you take over a territory, there's going to be some rebellion or insurgents and stuff. Think of Deku as that, but he doesn't go around and kill people. So the government's all right with him because he's kind of like a military task force that keeps down the crime. So they're like, hey, although this person, has some of our land, he's doing pretty good with it. I mean, he hasn't really taken over any other land. He's stopping some villains, stopping some drug deals and everything like that. He's kind of working with the police and stuff. He's not really bugging anybody. It's alright for him to stay. So he does. And we're just going to say that Izuku wears a mask, okay? He just wears something to cover his, like, Okay, I think y'all know. Okay, you know how we wear masks whenever we go out to stores and stuff? We know. I'm trying to think. It looks like a respirator. It legit just looks like you know, like in the games, those underwater respirators or stuff like that that cover the mouth. It goes above the nose a little bit, goes towards the back of goes towards your jaw and stuff, and it covers a good portion of your face. It looks like that, okay? It legit looks like that. He's got slick back hair, completely black. He didn't want to look like himself. His eyes are now more, let's say, instead of green, they're also more black. He's just got like black hair, like combed back into like a, just combed back and stuff. Like, you know how some people use gel and stuff to make their hair go back? It's kind of like that, but it's more flat. Um, he's got black eyes now. Not like, you know how demons and stuff, crap like that. The irises, where the color is in your eyes, it's black. Okay? Maybe you shouldn't make it black. Weird. Let's make it, let's just keep it green. Actually, yeah, just dark green. How about that? So yeah, he's got a face mask, dark green eyes, black hair, black combed back hair, and he usually walks around in a suit. Like Agent 47's got that suit with red tie. Replace that red tie with a black tie, and there you go. That's it. And so instead of, having a suit on this time, he's got like his regular, uh, he's got like trying to think, um, he's got blue jeans on, like dark blue jeans, black and whatever. He's got dark blue jeans on, blue boots, and I'm trying to remember what the type of shirt's name is. He's got like I can't believe I forgot the name of it. Whenever you go to a formal party or you go somewhere and you wear the buttoned-up shirt and with the collar and everything, he's got something like that, but it's type of bluish. Let's just let's make it blue, dark blue. So he's got like dark blue pants. Yeah, let's just say that dark blue pants, regular boots, black black formal shirt with rolled up sleeves and stuff. I just want to make him look like this because I just feel like it. Anyway, he goes there. He completely passes the written exam. Like, he is smart. Like, how in some things they're like, oh yeah, he corrected some of these questions. Let's say he also did that, but Nezu did that purposefully to see if any of the kids would notice. Yagirozu noticed a few, not all of them, and uh, Ida didn't notice them. I mean, he noticed them, but he didn't fix it to that because he wanted to be respectful and he didn't want to make it seem like he was making it seem like he was better than him. It's just how Ida rolls. But now, for one of the coolest parts in the show, where Izuku is fighting the robots. But in this one, he's using an Iron Man suit and he's destroying them left and right. There's holes in robots, there's pieces flying everywhere from him punching them and blowing them up. And you can already tell that he's going to probably be in first place, and he is. But now, because you already know that he's just wrecking all these little guys, it's time for the big 0-pointer. You might be wondering, hey, what's this guy gonna do? I mean, it's not like he's gonna introduce something incredibly cool or super important or powerful. He asks Edith to bring in Veronica. Now, if some of you like not so keen Marvel fans don't know, Veronica is the official name for the Hulkbuster. But this Hulkbuster is going to be a little different. Instead of it being red and gold like the usual one, it's more of a gray-ish thing, like a metallic gray. It's like a version 1 of it. And you might be asking, hey, did Izuku know that All For One was a thing and he just made this? No. But he knew All Might was a thing. And just like how Batman had contingency plans and how Iron Man adapts to things, he's like, you know what? There's most likely a quirk out there that can mind control somebody. I mean, there's one that can control fire, one that can make fire, one that can make ice, one that can give somebody wings, one that can make somebody tall. I mean, somebody having a mind control quirk isn't that far fetched. I mean, somebody has a quirk that can erase quirks for a temporary amount of time. And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make this just in case. And so he's like, oh crap, I need it for something else. So he gets into it, he rockets up to the face, and he punches it just like he did in the anime. Same thing happens. Head just explodes, and he lands on the ground, picks up Uraraka, and blasts off towards um Recovery Girl. Cause in Age of Ultron, if you saw, the Hulkbuster wasn't slow, and it could actually reach pretty good heights. If you played the Lego game, you knew that they didn't do that. So anyway, um, so everybody's like, "Holy crap, this kid's got a cool quirk," and almost like, I wonder what his quirk would be like if I gave him one for all. And he starts thinking about it, and all he sees, because let's say one of the previous one for all users had a temporary ability to look into the future of other people, kind of like a Night Eye. Um, but only other people, not yourself. So there was no way that All Might knew that he was going to get his ass handed to him by All For One. And so he, in this one, he's able to actually ask the original users who they think the new user should be. They're like, dude, you gotta give it to this kid. If he becomes a villain, you're screwed. And Omit's like, what do you mean? And they're like, listen, man, I know a lot of people don't know this because of how kept, because of how in the shadow it's been, but this kid is that same person that is working with the Yakuza. The same person that has kind of acquired some land in Japan. The same kid that legit has a creation quirk and is making things or something to go do his work. If you give it to this kid, he's going to be able to make robots or whatever they are, and patrol the city, stopping villains left and right. You give it to this kid, he's going to legit become a one-man army by making more men. And almost like, yeah. Because he's stunned. And then he thinks, wait, what about the other kids? Young Todoroki, young Bakugo, Katsuki. And they're like, I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see what would happen to their quirks, but like most quirks nowadays, their quirks are mostly for destruction. I mean, one guy like Bakugo legit can make explosions out of his hands. If you give it to him, and he somehow turns to the dark side, all Anakin Skywalker type, because there were the movies and everything. Some of the previous users did watch it, and he's like, if he goes Anakin Skywalker and stuff, you're gonna be screwed. With Todoroki, one single misstep or PTSD moment, the kid's going to be off on a rampage of just setting things on fire and turning things to ice. Now, I'm going to need to end this quickly because it's probably like around 12 to 1 a.m. right now for me. And so, what happens is, all my trash taking fun Izuku, but he's already gone. And Izuku is thinking to himself, I need to make more things to help people. Because while he was flying home, like, back to his base, he saw banks being robbed and everything. He did stop them and stuff, but he wasn't able to stop all of them because he was only one person. He's like, dang it, if only I was able to be in more than one place at once. And he's like, and he gets the idea to make an Iron Legion, a type of a task force, you could say, to kind of patrol the area. Not like the assassins that only go at night. These guys are like ooh, sorry about that. Are like daytime vigilantes. They go out, they stop any bank robberies, they hand them over to the police, and they call it a day, and they just go back to base, or they just start patrolling the city again. If you're asking what I'm doing, there was like something in my blanket, and it's kind of pointy for my leg a little bit. And I was trying to find it and take it out with a um, tweezers or something like that. But anyway, yeah, Izuku just starts making an army. Not only is he making robots, he's made like an incredibly like gigantic underground base because he knows that if something happens with to make the villains more powerful, he's going to need to be able to fight back. So he's making tanks, he's making helicopters, jets, all this stuff to protect himself and other people. And so he decides, you know what would be really cool because I just want to do this. I just want to. He's like, you know what would be really cool if I had my own island, like Island. And he's like, you know what, I could do that. I think there's some stuff in my dad's notes that could help me with it because he's been using his dad's notes for all this stuff. The helicopters, jets, and tanks, all designs from the army that haven't been really incorporated because of how costly it is. But for Zuko, it's nothing. And so he decides that the area around him is going to be lifted up, and the way he's going to do that is he's going to make a gigantic, and I mean gigantic type of helicopter or type of transport thing. You ever play I think it's Wolfenstein? That game where the Nazis won the war for some reason. I bet some of you know that. You know that gigantic, you know that scene where that big flying machine is lifting a submarine out of the water? Yeah, think of that thing without the Nazi symbols and all that junk around it. Think of that more, lengthy, keep the width. It's just a gigantic type of city mover, you could say. And so it picks up the base, like the entire land, and it starts moving out to sea. And Azuku is kind of flying around in his Iron Man suit, and he goes to an area and he starts making the base of it. And so he tries to do something that I never did before because he just never thought of it. Um, he starts to make organic stuff because if y'all didn't know, plants and stuff are actually living. I bet some of you knew that, but not all of you. Plants are actually living, but anyway, he starts to. I mean, Jesus. He's never made dirt before. He's just never made it before. And he doesn't really know how he should do this. Should he make some rocks and then stuff? And then he just looks up, and then he just looks up a graph and stuff, and everything is like, oh, that's how you make it. And he just starts, jeez. Don't know if you guys will be able to hear me that entire time, but Zuko finds the area. He learns how to make he learns how islands are made and how the bases and stuff are like, and he just makes the island and he puts his base on it and stuff, and he makes a type of bridge, you could say, to the mainland, to Japan. Um, cool thing is, he makes a tunnel. So where his base originally was, it's more of like a type of guard base where some turrets and stuff are placed, some watchtowers, some guards and stuff, because it's like a highway to his base, and his base it has a force field around it and only an entrance and exit spot that are connected. So in the front of it, you got 6 roads because even though there's I mean 4 roads, 2 roads but with 2 lanes in them. Jesus, this is confusing. It's a regular highway, okay? Regular highway because even though not a lot of people are coming in and coming out because some people are like, hey, what's that? And the Yakuza clan have to go in and talk with him. He still has a ton of vehicles that take up a lot of space on roads, so stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna end it off in a bit. Just want to get this one thing out. He is like, you know what? It's been a week. It's been a few days. The thing's coming tomorrow. I know I'm probably gonna get it in. I just don't know if they're gonna let me wear this mask and stuff because he hasn't met the Duplo Arms guy, and he knows that some schools have like a dress code and stuff. So maybe UI has it, and he's like, "Man, I gotta find a way to make myself look different because everybody thinks he's practically dead." Like Babaco's like, "Dang it, that nerd's dead. Is who am I gonna bully now?" or something like that. Usual Bakugo. But Izuku's like, "Oh God, if people find out I'm not dead, I wonder what they're gonna do." Because you know how some people are. They think somebody's dead. They find out they're not dead. They're like, "How the fuck are you alive?" They start asking them questions that they shouldn't and stuff. One thing leads to another. You got an entire plot to a game where you have to save somebody because they asked too many questions. But anyway, okay, I'm just gonna. Why are all these 30 minutes? Okay, we're going to do the. No, that's not what it is. The physical. No, that's not it. Whatever it is, the Aizawa test. I'm just gonna call it that. And so he goes there. He doesn't really talk to anybody. He sits in the back of the class, so Rocket can't really see him, so she doesn't know if he's there or not. And he goes to the locker room. He's in the back so that nobody can see him. He gets dressed and everything. He, and he gets called up to do the first ball throw. He's like, "Oh crap! I didn't want to draw this much attention to myself." He's like, "Fine, I gotta do what I gotta do." So he walks up, grabs the ball, and um, as I was like, use your quirk. And let's just say that quirk canceling, quirk canceling quirks don't work on him because they're still robots, and he does have Edith with the earpiece, so he's gonna be able to do that. But Actually, yeah, never mind. We're canceling quirks. Do work on him. Fuck. And so, he makes a cannon with his arm, puts the ball in, and he launches it. Then he just sends pressurized blasts towards it to make the ball go further and further. And it goes far enough that it's about 3 cities away. Let's say that he was able to get it that far away. And let's just say, for fun, it lands in the park. And a dog goes up and he picks it up and he no, but a dog does go and picks it up. What I was gonna do is the dog picks it up and starts running, and I was like, oh, it's moving again. But anyway, so yeah, Zuko got pretty fucking far. Not as far as Uraraka, as we all know, because she's got infinity. But as we all know, from you know the back of our minds and stuff, is that nothing's really infinite because everything comes to an end. So one day that ball will land on a planet, and somebody who has Aizawa's timer will hear a buzzing and see, oh, holy fuck, it's far. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna make this quick. Everything pretty much goes the same, but Izuku beats everything. He uses an arm thing. Wait, why does it sound like I did this before? Wait, and whatever. So I did not plan for this. Did I do it in the last one? Whatever. Yeah, Izuku just wins. Everybody else is the same. We're gonna go to what's it? Time is it? Yeah, heroes versus villains. Izuku. I mean, All Might just puts Izuku on a team of his own, and he goes up against Bakugo, and let's say, oh yes, Momo for fun. And so she's like, I should make some traps, and he's like, and Bakugo's like, yeah, sure, you do that. I'll go and beat this kid's ass. And all all Izuku does is he just flies up to the floor. He used an X-ray thing to see which floor it is. Goes up there, blasts through the window, blasts Momo knocked by, and she's knocked out. Goes, touches a bomb, and he wins. Everything else kind of goes the same as it probably would. Uraka still wins with whatever team she's on. Ida still loses with with whatever team. Fuck, I'm stuttering with whichever team he's on now. It could just be a random one. But yeah, third one should be out probably in a few days or something. I'm not sure. But that one will be taking place during the UA USJ. And that is going to be freaking interesting because something's gonna happen. And yeah, I'll probably stop it. No, I'm not gonna stop it there actually. I still got a few more things to do with it. But anyway, yeah, either part 3 for that's going to come out, or I'm going to do an army quirk one with like an actual army quirk. And please, you guys, pretty please, tell me an app to use that allows me to take a video while showing images because I can't find a right app to do it. So just leave it down in the comments and stuff. If this video gets, let's say, um, I mean, my last video got 20 views, so let's say if this video gets 5 likes, no, yeah, 5 likes, I'll do another one in a few days, and I'll do another one in about a day or two because I still got school and stuff. And if you guys have any ideas for what if videos, just also leave them down in the comments. And yeah, see y'all next time. Good night.